Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm going to give people time to get in the room. This has been by far one of the most exciting webinars I've ever been a part of at Jackrabbit. And it sounds like this has been one of the most peaking of interest webinars that we've ever had on deck. So record registrations. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to hang with us on this Wednesday. While everybody's getting in, I just want to introduce this session. So we decided that with the benchmark report showing that additional streams of revenue was really important for all of our industries, what better way to help you figure out how to generate more revenue than to have a webinar series? And this is the first in our series. This will be the birthday party edition. Birthday parties are a great way to generate extra income at your facility when you already have the space and the staff to do it. So if you have any questions throughout the webinar, you can stick those in the chat or use the little, I think there's a little Q&A thing at the top. You can use that. Before we jump into introducing our panel, who has so graciously joined me today, I want to ask a few questions to get to know all of you. So I am putting up my first poll. Hopefully, let's see. Let's share it now. All right, so I want to know how you heard about this webinar. Did you get an email from one of us at Jackrabbit? Did you see it in our user group? Did you see it on our corporate Facebook page, our Instagram, or did you have a really awesome friend that forwarded you the email, which, by the way, I need to know who that friend is because thank you for helping us with this. All right, answers are flying in. I love it. I'm seeing a lot that got an email. So you likely got an email from me, Haley, or Lauren if you're here. Quite a few from the Facebook group. And we do have some awesome friends that pass this on. Love to see it. I'm going to give just a couple more seconds for a few more people to answer. And then I've got 2 more questions for you. And then I promise we'll get started. All right, next one. What sparked your interest the most about this webinar? Do you already host birthday parties, but you wanted some fresh ideas? Do you want to host birthday parties, but you just haven't pulled the trigger yet? Or did you want to hear from the people who already host them? I know it's awesome to listen to me talk, but I guarantee you these ladies have much better things to say than I do. All right, answers rolling in. We've got a lot that already host them, but want fresh ideas. Love to see it. Some that haven't pulled the trigger yet, but they're interested. And we've still got, a good number that want to hear from people that are already doing it. Awesome. All right, one more, as I promised. If you are currently hosting birthday parties, do you use Jackrabbit to manage them? So, heck yes, no way, maybe soon after this webinar. I want to know where you're sitting. All right, yes and no is like battling back and forth. I'm watching the line move. Okay, we've got some people to convince here. Love a challenge. Yeah, just a couple more seconds because I know not everyone will answer this one because not everybody's doing birthday parties. All right, so yes is coming out as the winner, and maybe soon is last, but not by much. All right, thank you all for humoring me with my nosy questions. So today's panelists here, this all started from a Facebook post in our user group where I said, hey, who hosts birthday parties? And who would be willing to talk to me about it? I had a lot of people respond, and I actually, got to sit down via Zoom and interview each one of these ladies to talk about how they do birthday parties at their facility. So I have Katie here, and she's in Texas. I have Erin from Ohio, Jesse's in Pennsylvania, and Jenny's in New York. So sorry I'm not representing my West Coasters, but, I didn't have as many of those reach out and be available for this. So love seeing everything in the chat. I myself am in North Carolina, so it's nice and sunny here, clear skies finally. If you'll drop in the chat where you are, I want to know where everyone is joining us from. All right, I'm seeing some in the chat that people can't hear me, but there's a lot of people responding with where they are. So I know someone's hearing me. So make sure that you don't have your side muted. All right, we've got people from everywhere. Some Canadians, love it.
Wow.
Wow, we are all over the place. Awesome. Well, thank you. Love seeing all of that interaction. All right, so without further ado, we're going to jump right in. And I'm going to start with having each one of these ladies tell us a little bit about the birthday parties that they offer and what they include. Just a high-level overview, because we'll get into more of the minutia as we go on. So why don't we start with Jessie?
Me? All right. So we host birthday parties. We host them on the weekends. We do 3 on Sunday and 2 on Saturday. They are private events. We offer different themes. We offer different packages. Our packages basically include 90% of what needs to be offered in the party. The parents really only need to bring additional snacks and a cake if they want. We also offer a bunch of add-ons, from additional time. We set up the pre-gym area for the younger kids. Additional kids, we offer a birthday medal. The birthday medal's been going over great. The kids get a medal for their birthday. It says happy birthday on it. They love it. So that's our basic overview.
Awesome. All right, I'm seeing some feedback about some noise in the background. So all of us panelists, I know that we're all in different places. If we can just mute until it's our turn to talk, and I'll help remind you to come off mute, just because I know we all have different things going on in the background. But everybody seems to be able to hear us, so we are all good. All right, next, let's go to Jenny.
Hi, everyone. So we offer 5 birthday parties during the weekend and only weekends. We offer 2 on Saturday after our enrolled classes, and then 3 on Sunday. We try our best to not schedule any other large, high volume events at the same time. It's 2 hours. It's an hour and 15 minutes on the gym floor, doing activities and games and obstacle courses and free time. And then we have 45 minutes in our party area. On top of that, we also offer an exclusive option where they're able to pay a little bit more, where they have full rental of the gym facility. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. All right, Erin, you're up next.
Okay, our parties are 2 hours. We don't offer packages. It's a one-time deal. We tell our parents we provide everything but the cake. We offer pizza with our parties that we get from Marco's that delivers to us. We host parties on the weekends. We have right now currently 1 on Saturdays, 3 on Sundays. The 1 on Saturday is after our competitive team is done practicing. We build a 30-minute interval between parties so that we can tear down and reset up. And as far as demand goes, every single phone call I took yesterday was asking about birthday parties. Ours are simple, but yet they're effective, and everybody seems to love them.
Love it. Love to hear it. All right, bring us home, Katie.
So we pretty much just have one package that we offer. Our parties are 90-minute time slots. We get an hour in the gym plus 30 minutes in our party area. What we provide is the facility. They get a private party, so exclusive use of the facility. And then they are able to bring in cake and any additional food that they would like. We, of course, provide the party host. Most of our younger kids just want free play time in the gym. The older kids will do some organized games and activities, set up a bit bigger obstacle course, things like that. Right now, we only offer parties on Saturdays. We've done Sundays in the past, but we have found that our staff needs a break on Sundays, and we book everyone on Saturdays.
Awesome. So what I like about this is every single person here does it differently, but it works for them. So while there's no right or wrong way to do it, obviously you have to do, what works for your area, what works for your staff. And seeing some questions about staffing, we have a slide dedicated all to that. Well, not all to that, but we do have some time dedicated to that. So we will get to that. Also, some of you kind of answered it when it was your turn, but I know Katie only does Saturdays. Jesse, do you do both Saturday and Sunday? Oh, Jesse, you're muted. Sorry.
We do 2 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday, and they're all private events.
Okay, perfect. And then Jenny, remind me, are yours Saturday and Sunday too?
Yep, 2 on Saturday and 3 on Sunday, like with Aaron, 30 minutes in between for setup and cleanup.
Awesome. So obviously, if you are starting off and you want to make sure you have staff, maybe you can't start with 5 on a weekend. You start with 1 on Saturday or 2 on Saturday and see how it goes. I know pricing is a hot topic in the chat right now. And we're all in different parts of the United States and Canada and even the world. So if you ladies are comfortable with sharing, what your rates are, I know that that's a question that's hot in the chat right now, is what your birthday party packages are running for. Jenny, you can start.
We do a 8-to-1 ratio for staffing and children. So up to 16 kids, it's $299, and then up to 24 kids, it's $399. And had I mentioned before, it's the exclusive option where they fully rent out the gym. It's an extra $125 for the exclusivity.
Any other ladies on the panel want to unmute and share your pricing? Totally optional.
Our pricing is $350. We charge $350. We actually raised our prices last January after we had a couple parents tell us we needed to raise our prices.
I love when that happens.
But yes, no, it was kind of crazy. But it's $350. And I forgot to say that in addition to that, we also have a bounce house. We include all paper products, everything they need. Parents just have to bring a cake if that's what they want. As far as staffing goes, that also includes, I try to do a minimum of 3 staff members per party. 4 is kind of ideal because we cap the parties at 25 participants on the floor. I don't include parents and grandparents into that because they're not on the floor. So it's 25 participants who have signed our waiver. Once they go above that 25, then there's an additional fee. It's an additional $20 up until they hit 40. And it basically pays for the extra paper products, goodie bags, and that type of stuff. They are free to add extra pizzas on. I have parents do it all the time. It's just an extra charge for them.
Very cool. Anybody else want to share pricing structure?
So we have 3 packages. All 3 of our packages include different things. There is a different price for our members than our non-members. So package 1 goes $375 to $400 and includes 12 kids, 2 pizzas. We also include, the cleanups, the setup, a bounce house, and all our parties. Package 2 is $410 for members, $430 for non-members. It includes 16 kids. Package 3 is our biggest one. It includes all of your tables, your tablecloths, your napkins, your plates, invitations, and everything. That is $450 for members, and non-members is $475. You can add on additional time at $100. Additional kids are $10 per kid. And we have an air track and a birthday medal, like just a couple of little things that we've added on over the years. But this is our first year doing packages. Before we did one base price, and that's what it was.
Yeah. So I saw a couple questions. People want to know where you guys are from. In case you missed the beginning, Katie is in Texas, Aaron's in Ohio, Jesse's in Pennsylvania, which apparently, Jesse, you had to jump through hoops for your, was it the bounce house that you were telling me about?
Yes. The bounce house in Pennsylvania is actually considered a theme amusement park ride.
Oh my
So
goodness.
you have to be a certified inspector to own a moon bounce in Pennsylvania.
And then we have Jenny in New York. I did talk to some dance studios along the way that host birthday parties, but unfortunately they were not available for today's panel. So we do have a lot of gyms, but it sounds like a lot of you have kind of mixed programming, so not just gymnastics. Just to kind of help with that question. Is there anything else if you want to drop in the chat, and I'll try to grab a couple that you want to ask about what's included, how often they're hosted, and what is the demand like? And while we're waiting for some of those, how far out are you ladies booking birthday parties? Like, are you out 2 weeks? Are you out 3 weeks? Are you booked up through the rest of the year? Like, tell us the secret.
We book 1 month out, especially during our competitive season. Over the summer, I can typically book most of the summer all at once. But right now we're booking literally 1 month out just because I have to make sure that I'm building in dates for the meets that we host, as well as holiday weekends and that type of stuff. And in addition, our birthday parties right now are currently staffed by a lot of our competitive team members. So when they're at meets and they're gone, then I have to find other people to take those parties. And sometimes that can be a bit of a hassle because it's just the weekends and people are not necessarily wanting to give up their weekends just to come and work and play with kids. They do that all week long.
Yes.
So we publish our birthday availability about 3 months in advance. So we book about 3 months out. We've had people ask already for like our January and February calendar. We just don't have that ready yet. Most of our staff are college students, so we kind of have to plan around finals, make sure that if we're scheduling a party on a weekend where everybody's gone to the big football game, that we've got enough staffing. So we kind of look at those things, and we'll take that into account when we're publishing our availability calendar. We don't offer parties every single weekend. We do take some of those weekends off if we have an event going on in the facility, or if it's a holiday weekend, things like that.
Awesome. There was a question that I wanted to ask. Do you include themes in your all-inclusive package? I know some of you do themes and some of you don't. So does anybody want to speak to themes?
We do 3 themes. We do a traditional gymnastics party. We do our gym ninja party, which is very popular, and then a tiny parties for little guys.
Awesome. Kimberly asked if we're going to talk about how to use Jackrabbit a little bit. We're not going to get into the how-to, but we will talk about how they utilize Jackrabbit. Some of these questions kind of relate to staff. Jesse, I'll let you take this one too. How do you incorporate your bouncy house that you have a roller coaster license for, whatever it's called?
So, well, it's just included in all our parties. It used to be where it was an option to add it on. But, honestly, since it costs us so much to keep it up and running through the state, we now upped our prices and just include it in all of them.
Awesome. I don't know what happened, but I had a blip and my screen share stopped. So we're back in action. Gotta love live, right? And then anyone else want to speak to goodie bags, what you put in the goodie bags? I know a couple of you mentioned that when we talked previously.
We have in the, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We have in the past, we've done, the little plastic cups with our logo on them. We're out right now, but usually if we do that, it's just, we'll put in a little bit of candy, a flyer for our classes, 'classes, and that's pretty much all that we provide in the goodie bag.
Awesome. And I don't know what happened, but I had a blip and my screen share stopped. So we're back in action. There was a question that I wanted to ask. Do you include themes in your all-inclusive package? I know some of you do themes and some of you don't. So does anybody want to speak to Awesome. Aaron, did you want to add to that?
Yes, our goodie bags, sorry, I was typing at the same time. Our goodie bags include a pencil. So we have an EGC pencil. It has our logo on it. We do a couple pieces of candy. And then we have a postcard in there that if they bring that postcard back, and they register with us for classes during their second month of enrollment, we waive their registration fee. So we'll basically take the registration fee that they paid the first month, and we'll credit that back towards their tuition the second month.
I love that. Very cool. Great way to encourage them, if they enjoyed the birthday party, to join classes. All right, awesome. Well, we're going to keep this party bus moving. I would like to go to each one of you with this one, and we'll just start with Jenny. But I want to know what has been most successful, and what is something that you're like, we tried that and that was great to try, but I don't know if we're going to keep doing that. So if you'll just share some of your wins and some of your challenges, that would be awesome.
Some of our wins, I think overall in general, everyone else would agree on this panel, is just building rapport with clients that are outside of our enrolled classes on a weekly or monthly basis. Just getting out into the community and being able to touch all the kids that are not in classes, so that we could reach out to them that maybe, hey, they want to come in for a class. And then another successful part of our birthday parties, I know we're going to dabble into it just a little bit, is the Jackrabbit part. We are paperless for everything. So we have everything through Jackrabbit, from the contracts, the communication, RSVPs. It took us about 6 months to get through that, but everything through Jackrabbit, we utilize everything through there. So I think that's one of the most successful parts of our parties on the back end.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to talk about that more in a little bit. Awesome. Did you want to share anything else?
We have done 2-hour birthday parties. It was an hour in the gym and an hour in the party area. We increased our times in the gym area to an hour and 15. Jess had mentioned, I think Jesse mentioned earlier, that kids just want to play. They are not there to eat pizza, but they're here to play. So that's why we added more time to our party time, and then lessened our time in the party area.
Awesome. All right, Aaron, will you share some of your wins and some of your moments that you were like, yeah, we'll take that off the docket?
I think some of our biggest wins, honestly, is, it sounds really crazy, but it's kind of word of mouth. Like, we have so many repeat parents who come back year after year with their kids because their kids love it. And as much as it can be a hassle scheduling teenagers to work these parties, I love when I have teenagers work these parties, because I can tell them, play with the kids, interact with the parents. This is your moment to shine. This is what we want you to do. And the kids love it. Some kids just want to go and play and run around and be crazy, but other kids want to play sharks and minnows. We have a giant parachute that covers almost our entire front floor once you get it out and get it set up. And they love that. They love it when our coaches, we call them party coaches, when our coaches get in and they interact with them. Also, one of the I love the way it's set up through Jackrabbit. I will say that it took some getting used to when I took over doing birthday parties, in the scheduling portion and making sure that everything was showing up on our calendar. I love how easy it is, and it's all in one place. Honestly, The hardest part is getting parents to sign the waiver before they walk in the door.
Yes.
Because if not, I've got a lineup of kids and a lineup of parents, everyone with an iPad or on their phone, filling it all out and getting it signed in. And I try my hardest to stress to them, the more you don't do this, the longer it takes, because I can't let your kids on the floor until you sign that waiver.
Yes.
So, I mean, other than that, I feel like our parties run pretty well, and parents they're always happy and the kids love it, which is, I think, the best part of it.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Jesse, tell us about some wins and some challenges.
All right. Wins is, the parties are doing great. The word of mouth, I can't say enough about it. You're getting, even if you're not getting people from the parties themselves, those people come home and tell their friends about it. And they're like, oh, there's that gymnastics place. So you get a lot from the parties doing them. One of the losses about doing them is we can never rent out our gym. You know, we have no time to rent out our gym other than 8 a.m. Sunday morning or 7 p.m. Sunday night. So that is a little bit of a loss to us. However, I feel like we get more out of the parties than we, you know, would get out of rentals. So
the long-term return on the parties is definitely worth it.
And the kids love them.
All right, Katie, bring us home on wins and challenges.
So I would definitely agree that just being able to expand our reach into the community, expand our name recognition, has been a big win. Just being able to add another offering besides classes for our facility has been great. We have tried different packages in the past, like different lengths of times and different themes, offering different, like the tablecloths and the paper goods and things like that. And for us, it was too much confusion. It was just too much. So we pared it down and we're like, this is our package. This is what we offer. And for us, that has worked really well. We've tried doing the longer party packages and the kids just kind of ran out of steam, or it was too much time in the party room. So the hour and a half has just really worked well for us. So
awesome. Well, again, they all do it differently, but it's all working for them. So hopefully you guys are getting some great ideas. Now, I've seen lots of chatter about staffing and waivers and marketing. So let's get into it. All right, let's start with staffing. I know that we are all in different geographical areas, so I don't necessarily want to get into dollar amounts. But I am just curious if any of you have specific staff for parties. We know that Erin is able to use a lot of young staff for her parties. Are you offering any incentives? Do you ever have challenges with staffing parties? Like, do you have more demand than you are able to staff? Let's talk about that, and we'll start with Jessie this time.
Staffing. We offer a flat rate for staff parties. We don't do an hourly rate, and it is, almost double the hourly rate. You want people to get in there, and parties do make a decent amount of money. They also get tips. There's nothing for the party people to walk away with $50 in tips after one party. So, it's worth it for them. We do occasionally have challenges with certain holidays, but we just chose to not have parties on those days. Like, won't do it on the 4th of July weekend or Thanksgiving weekend, because give our staff a break, Yeah,
that's great. So you don't actually charge a gratuity. People,
no, it's just included. It's not included. They have to fill it in. But I'm not going to lie, on the invoice, that part's highlighted and in red. So.
Okay. Shannon had a question about that. So you can subtly, get them to add some gratuity in there. All right, Jenny, what about you on staffing? What does staffing look like for you?
Staffing, going back, we schedule a full school year's worth of parties. We don't put on the contracts on the days specifically, like Jessie mentioned 4th of July or anything like that, Christmas breaks. So parents are able to book parties from now until June for us. For our staff, they get a higher hourly rate on top of their current rate. And then on top of that, they also receive tips as well.
Okay, awesome. Erin, I know you talked about younger staff, but can you talk to me a little bit about how many staff you usually need to host a party? How many do you have on deck?
3 people minimum. It takes 3 people because I try to schedule 1 person in the office to handle all of that type of stuff. And then I need 2 people on the floor to both run interference, make sure that the kids are not doing the things that we ask them not to do, because we do have some things that they're not allowed on. They're not allowed on any of our, we call it the high equipment. They're not allowed on the high beam, the high bar, the parallel bars, that type of stuff. So we just have to make sure that we have that staffing covered. I like 4 people because it gives you that intermediate to run back and forth between the office and the floor, and make sure that the parents and they have everything that they need. As far as rate of pay goes, we do offer a bonus for parties, but it's not a ton. If they're at a minimum rate of pay, like their starting wage, it's $1 more. But if you are making above and beyond your starting wage, then you're going to get paid your normal hourly rate. We have talked about, in fact, very recently, we have a staff meeting tomorrow where we have talked about offering an incentive. We've done that before in order to staff parties, because it is becoming an issue. Just because they're kids and they haven't quite wrapped their head around having a real job versus just being able to like want to do the next best thing. So if they get an invite for the weekend on a Friday night, they're like, oh, wait, I don't want to do a party on Saturday. And I'm like, but wait, you said you could. So we're kind of we're walking that line in not only servicing our customers, but also trying to train our staff because they're young, and trying to train them in what it is to actually have a job, even though it's fun. So
yeah, that's a hard concept when you have a young brain. Like, I get to play for work, but it is work.
But at the same time, it's a job.
Yes, yeah, and people are relying on me. All right, and Katie, will you talk to us about staffing? And as you're talking about that, when you, let's say you book a day full of Saturday parties, is it the same staff working all day? Do you rotate? What does that look like at your?
So what we do, first of all, we do offer a higher hourly rate for the staff that work birthday parties. And what we typically do is for everyone that's eligible that has been trained on a party, we let them volunteer first. So, if someone wants to sign up for every Saturday this month, they're welcome to. They just have to commit to actually being there. And then we build in breaks in between the parties. So it's usually 30 to 45 minutes, depending on the facility, to clean up and tear down and set up for the next party. So we will occasionally have the same staff members work 3 parties in a row. Other times it will be different staff members, just depending on their availability. But we don't let just anybody sign up to work a party. They have to be trained and approved to be able to work the party.
Awesome. All right. I know staffing has been an industry-wide challenge, so I knew that would spark a lot of questions and curiosity as to how you guys are keeping up with the demand. So thank you for all of that insight. Let's jump into how we're promoting parties. Other than, just your students in your facility being aware that you offer parties, let's get into other channels that you're using to promote these. So I'll start with Jenny.
One big thing is that we use social media. Every outlet that we have, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And then we also showcase what is offered during these parties. And then on top of that, our gym has joined local parent groups, local Facebook parent groups, where a lot of parents discuss things that are in our community. That's where we get a lot of leads for us, especially with kids that have never been at our gym. That is probably one of our biggest lead area. And like I said, social media is just a huge thing nowadays, where you have to take advantage of every outlet that you can take advantage of.
I love that you mentioned TikTok, because that's one where we're like, as Jackrabbit, do we go there? Do we not go there? Is our audience there yet? Maybe a little bit. That's awesome. All right. Erin, will you talk to us about any cool promotions you do for your parties?
Sure. A lot of our parties are word of mouth. We have flyers available for anybody, but we just recently, we offer in the I was going to say the winter time. Oh my goodness. In September, we offer a back to school event that is free. It is open to the community. We run it registration just like a birthday party event. They log on to our calendar of events, they register, they come in, they have we provide pizza, we provide drinks, and they have access to the gym. So community members can come in, their kids can see what it's all about. We have the bounce house up, so it's kind of like the same idea of what you're going to get during a party. And so we get a lot of revenue back from that. We also a couple times a year offer sleepovers at the gym. Those are also open to the public. We get a lot of people back from that. And a lot of times our birthday parties that get registered are from kids who have come to a friend's birthday party. So if we have students at our gym who then invite, say, we've had a couple that have invited their entire kindergarten class. We get a lot of repeat customers just from that. Their kids come and they're like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. I want my party here. And mom's like, okay, do you want to try somewhere else? No, I want it right here. And so we get a lot of people back from that. And like I said, we have a lot of repeat customers. We have people who have been coming year after year after year for their kids' parties. And then it turns into their friends and then family members and that type of stuff.
I love it. It's all about the long game, I think, on these. Jesse, talk to me about promoting parties.
Promoting parties. Honestly, we don't do a whole lot to promote parties. During our anniversary week every year, it's our birthday party. So we do offer, if you're booking for that year, you will get 10% off or we'll give you a discount on the party. Other than that, it's mostly word of mouth. We do put our birthday party brochure in our welcome folder that everyone who comes in the gym gets a welcome package. But most of it's really word of mouth from people who've been to other parties.
I love it. Katie, what do you have to add on promoting parties?
So we promote, like a lot of others, on social media, through our website. We also try to get listed on like local parenting websites where it says, they have their resources of, places to host a party in town. We try to make sure that we're listed on all of those. And then we also market to our current customers. We do offer a discount off of our party package for current customers. So we use Jackrabbit to send emails to kids that have birthdays coming up, reminding them that we offer parties at our facility and things like that. So we try to do some different things.
Awesome. And Jenny, I'm going to shoot it back to you. Since you talked a lot about social media, what does that look like? Are you using video, graphics, a combination of the two?
It's a combination of the two. We utilize Canva, and on top of that, we post, obviously with consent, children at parties, during classes, on our Instagram page and our Instagram stories. So they're always trying to be visible to anyone who's on social media, which is huge nowadays. Like I said, just using all the content you can during a shift. You could get out there, have someone take a photo with their phones, and then have them sent to you, and then use that content. And then you could reuse that content over and over again, just in different backgrounds or different versions. It doesn't look the same, but those things that we typically do on a weekly basis.
And then Katie with the hot tip in the chat. She said they encourage parents that are that have parties at the facility to share and tag them on social media. Simple but genius. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but I got to give a shout out to Miss Lauren Miller in the chat. She used to manage birthday parties in her previous life, and she is now on the marketing team at Jackrabbit. So she herself has a lot of knowledge of what works, what doesn't, what to try, what not to try. So she is doing a stellar job in the chat right now. So she loves to partay. And I love that Sarah said, ask for parent testimonials and use them. Another great point. I'm telling you guys, this is like my favorite webinar so far. I'm loving all the engagement and all of the conversations back and forth. To the audience and my panel, you guys are making my job very easy. All right. We've heard some buzz in the chat about this, and I know that Jenny has this down to a science. I'm pretty sure she's the only one on the panel that uses Jackrabbit start to finish for the birthday parties in a way that they capture RSVPs and waivers. We will not get into the minutia of the how-to because we could spend 4 hours on that probably. And I have a short time with you guys today, and we still got to get into the revenue part. So Jenny, will you speak a little bit to your process on how once a birthday party is booked, what you do next to capture those RSVPs and waivers? And then I'm going to ask my friend Lauren to drop Jenny's website in the chat so people can look.
Appreciate this time. This took about 6 to 8 months to kind of get it down pat before we went live with this. So from the beginning, a parent goes onto our website and we have an event calendar with just listed as our contracts. In Jackrabbit, we have an event calendar, a listed event that is event calendar for specifically contracts. And it says, please sign here or something like that, party available. Parent goes on, signs all those things, answers all the questions, list out if they want certain instructors or certain activities, certain themes. From there, the office staff gets that email of the confirmed contract and then a posted fee. From there, the office staff then sends the templated email that we have saying, hey, thanks for booking a birthday party. We're happy, we're excited. Here's what you'll need, and here's what you'll need to bring, and here's the link you will require to have all your guests sign prior to coming in. We make that in bold. We try to give them all the tools to tell all the parents and guests that they need to sign those waivers beforehand. From there, we do confirmation calls the week of. We also send confirmation emails, and we also give them a PDF list of all of their guests that have signed up thus far. That is the week of the birthday party. From there, day before, we send them another email reminding them. This is also another templated email in Jackrabbit that we have that says, hey, here, don't forget to have your guests sign our RSVP. Backtrack, our office staff, once they receive that contract, we have another listed event in Jackrabbit where it's called birthday party. From there, our office staff creates an event in there where our website is completely separate for contracts and RSVPs. So if a person is coming to Johnny's birthday party this Saturday, a parent who might lose their invite can go right onto our website and say, attending a birthday party. They find Johnny's birthday party this weekend and they're able to sign the waivers from there. All the waivers that are linked to our classes are all the same. If it's a birthday party, if it's a parents' night out, it's a field trip, it's all the same, and they are required to sign off on that prior to entering the floor. From there, our RSVPs, we don't use a third party. We felt that was hard. Paper, it's hard. Our office staff was taking more time moving all of our paper, names, addresses, phone numbers, taking more time to putting that into leads when we already have it in our RSVPs. You can go into our website and you could check out what we have, the 2 calendars that we have separated. Shout out Lionel, our website guy is awesome. But from there, all of our RSVPs are on there, and we're able to track now with some enhancements with Jackrabbit. We're able to track to see if students who've never been in class before have been to a birthday party. And that's one of the biggest things. If you're saying, hey, Johnny came to a birthday party last week, but he's never been in class, the only way for him to know that he wants to come to Ninja class is he came to a birthday party last week. So those are some great enhancements that Jackrabbit has had recently that we really do enjoy. But we take advantage of a templated email that just goes straight to the parties, the host party's family, and also a templated email at the end of saying everyone that RSVP'd, everyone that's on that list, go out. Thanks. It goes out the week after and saying, hey, thanks for the party. We hope to see you guys soon if you aren't already enrolled. Just one more thing, circling back to the difficulties we see when parents come in. They're here for Susie's birthday party. They've never been here. They don't sign up. We have staff that are like, hey, you have to do this, but my kid wants to go on the floor. We also set up a QR code where the family is able to use the QR code to go directly to our events calendar that will lead them to the RSVP registration page.
Love that. And just a follow up before I head to the other ladies to see how they manage waivers and RSVPs. I know that anyone who's considering doing this in Jackrabbit, their first thought is, but isn't that going to add to my student count in Jackrabbit? And I know obviously, yes, it does, but what is your process as far as lead filing those people? How long do you wait?
I typically wait about a month. I look back to see who has joined or who's already in it. Then from there, if they're inactive, we put them into our lead file, which again, they still get those mass emails. If they opt out, they opt out, but they still have some exposure after the party.
Love that. Well, thank you for going through that whole spiel. You knew I was going to put you on the spot on that one. So thanks for being ready for that. There's actually a help article that kind of outlines how to do this process if you're interested. I'm sure Lauren or Molly will drop that in the chat for you guys. Katie, talk to me about, I'm assuming everyone on this panel does waivers because you guys have all kinds of equipment and things that could cause injury, if people aren't careful. But how do you manage those waivers? Are they paper? And do you do anything with the RSVPs, or do you leave that with the family?
So we leave the RSVPs up to the family. We do collect a waiver, or we have a signed waiver for everyone that steps foot into the facility. We use a third-party software for that. We actually use Smart Waiver. And
yep. From someone else too.
And so a parent will book a party through the Jackrabbit events calendar on our website, and then we will create an event within Smart Waiver and send the parent that link, and then we will basically leave it up to them. We encourage them to sign the waiver before the party because it does make them getting into the party and into the gym faster. However, we have a iPad kiosk at our front desk, as well as a QR code that parents can scan if there's a line waiting to sign the waiver. So that's how we manage the waivers. We used to do paper, but we've transitioned to Smart Waiver for that.
Love it. I love anything paperless. Yes. I know that's not always possible, but anything paperless.
As much as possible.
All right. Yes. Erin, talk to me about anything you do with waivers and RSVPs that can help this crowd.
Our waivers are all on Jackrabbit. They are assigned to the party. So when the parents pick up invitations from the gym, they come in after they book their party. We offer invitations. On the invitation, it is listed to go to our calendar of events, click on Susie's party, and it'll take you straight to the registration page. So once they go there, we have to manually go in. Once they register, we manually go in, run their deposit, and flip that party so that it shows on our public calendar, not just my internal calendar. And then once that happens, anyone who's invited to said party that the parent has invited is able to go into our calendar on our website and click on Susie's party. It'll take them straight to the registration page. And as they register, underneath they'll have to add each student. And after adding their student, there's all of the waivers, and they're just check marks. They need to go in, they need to read them, they need to check mark them, and then they electronically sign it so that then when we go into their account, we can see, yes, mom signed this waiver at 2:50 on whatever day, but it's a different waiver than the one that we have applied for classes and team. I am loving the fact that we can now update new and different policies to each individual. That made it so much easier because our team contract is no longer on paper. It is on Jackrabbit. That is phenomenal. That was a lot of paper. Yes. But it's the same with parties. So our party waiver is slightly different than, say, our class waiver, and very different than our competition team waiver. But that's how we manage that. it does come down to an issue, and I'm loving I have my whole list of notes here that I'm writing down from all of the rest of you guys. And I have emailed myself Jenny's website as we're sitting here talking, just so I can go in and check it out.
I love it.
But I'm loving all of this idea, and I am loving the QR code, because we do end up with a lineup of parents at the door who are like, oh, I've never been here before. I didn't know I needed to sign a waiver, that type of stuff. And then sometimes we have to pull parents out of the lead file, and I have to send them a password reset email while we're standing there so that they can go back in and re-up those waivers. So anything I can do to streamline this process, especially when you have kids who are working, when I have teenagers who are working these parties and they're calling me, they're like, how do I do this? And I'm trying to walk them over the phone, because it's not sometimes they run into issues that I didn't anticipate when we're getting all of this set up. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. And then I have to walk them through it over the phone. So anything I can do to streamline this process for them and take it off their hands so that they can come in, just run the party, and we've done it all in the office beforehand, would be phenomenal. So yes, I have a note, and you ladies are awesome, because this is great. I can't wait to go to work on Thursday and be like, let's check all this out.
Right. And as I call Jessie up next, when we did our tech check the other day, she learned something new. So being on the panel is like double duty. You learn new things, you share things. I think all of you, even in the chat, sharing your knowledge. So Jessie, talk to us about waivers.
We still do paper waivers. It's awful. However, after our meeting last week, thank you, Jenny, we have separated our event calendars out. And as of the first of the year, we plan on switching over and using Jackrabbit for everything. It's the only thing we still do in paper is our party waivers. We used to send them out in our invitations, but what it came down to is nobody did them before they walked in the door. So we're just wasting paper. So basically I have a clipboard and every parent signs it. And as of the first of the year, I'll have a QR code and every parent will scan it. So excited about that one.
I love it. Yes, yes. And I love to hear that the panel is getting just as much out of this as all of our attendees. So we only have 8 more minutes. I feel like we could keep this going for like a 4-hour workshop. So you guys are giving me all kinds of ideas on how to make this next one in the series even better. So let's talk revenue. I'm not going to ask each one of you these questions individually. But I know the question has been, are these profitable? And, how much do you have to charge in order to make a profit? And I just want you ladies to talk about, what kind of return you're seeing on these. Is it a long game? Is it, we're not profiting so much off of the event itself, but we're seeing increased enrollment and exposure in the community that we may not have gotten otherwise. I'm just going to start with Katie, and we'll go one by one.
In general, we do make a profit off of our parties. It is not a huge number. Some of it is kind of the long game of increasing overall volume, getting new enrollments, getting the word out. But they are definitely beneficial to our facility for sure.
Love that. Definitely a long game, not necessarily just the immediate return. Erin, talk to us about the revenue impact at your gym.
Yes, like I said, we did just change our pricing January 1st because we had a parent tell us, you need to change your prices. These are really, really low. And then we went in and we did break it down. Now, I do think that we're going to need to every year go in and make sure that the breakdown, especially with inflation and all of that other crazy stuff going on, just to make sure that we are still at least running not in the red, because we really kind of were. But it's also about community exposure. We do get students enrolling from birthday parties. Sometimes we have parents enroll on the spot. They're like, can I see a calendar of classes? Can you tell me what's good, what class my child would be in? And they enroll on the spot. So that's always great. So we make a profit. It's not a very big one. It's just kind of, it is what it is, but it's more the long game than anything. It's more to get our name out there. And that type of stuff.
Okay, for the next 2 panelists, I'm going to shift a little bit. Jessie, do you do any other types of events at your gym? I feel like the answer is yes, because I know you were trying to figure out how to separate the event calendar. Yes. So talk to me a little bit about just a high level overview of what other events you offer.
We offer clinics. clinics. We do one clinic a month. We do a kids night out once a month. We do a couple of like little trunk or treats and things like that our teams puts on for the rec kids basically. We have open gym every Friday. We have schools out camps. We're running one today, which is why I'm working from home. We have homeschool. That's the first Thursday of the month. And then we also do a play group for our little guys every Wednesday morning.
Ah, I love that. Yeah, usually I get to see all the merchandise of Jesse's gym in the background, and yeah, they had something going on today, so we didn't get to see that. All right, Jenny, what about you? Any other events that you host at your facility?
Yeah, we basically have everything that Jesse's mentioned on our website. It's all filtered out so that we're not seeing kids sign out, parents sign out with an unstructured playtime. So we offer camps when school is not in session, parents night out once or twice a month, unstructured playtime for kids that are 5 and under, open gyms, birthday parties, and we also do our competitive team competition registrations through Jackrabbit too.
Awesome. I saw someone in the chat said that they do shop and drop. How fun does that sound? That's an event that they host. So, all right. I cannot believe that we are already almost at time. So I just want to make sure that you guys have some next steps. I know that there are so many questions floating around and conversations that could keep going. So if you are looking for more conversations like what we're doing here, not necessarily the how-to, but like what do you include it for your birthday parties, things like that. If you are a Jackrabbit client, please request to join our Facebook user group. We will be dropping that link in the chat very soon. This is not just a place to learn how to do something in Jackrabbit. It is a place for you to do exactly this. Talk about what works, talk about what doesn't, and get great ideas. Every single one of these ladies is in the group because that's how I found them. So I highly encourage you to start any conversations there. I actually saw one last night and Erin jumped on it and was like, we have a webinar tomorrow, so come join us. If you are new to Jackrabbit and you are just excited about all that Jackrabbit can do for your events, connect with a product coach. That link will also be dropped in the chat. This is a great way to see what Jackrabbit can do for your business as far as events and beyond. And if you are a Jackrabbit client and you are so inspired by all of this and you want to start doing all the things from your website to birthday parties in Jackrabbit and then RSVPs and waivers on your website, schedule a call with our support team. You can do a checkup call, even if you've already done one before, and they can give you all the help resources, make sure you have the right coding for your events calendar, and help you do all the things so that you can launch this successfully. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone in the chat. You guys have made this so easy on myself and the panelists. And a big thank you for joining the first one in the series. It has been a blast. And also a huge thank you to these ladies. They deserve a huge round of applause. They have been gracious with donating and volunteering their time, and it wouldn't be possible without all of you. So I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday. I will be sending out a recording with some other resources, so check those inboxes. My goal is tomorrow, but you know, sometimes technology, we'll see Friday at the latest. But thank you all and have a great one.